But of course the pound is reacting already.
Yes.
The Telegraph is saying it could fall by about 5%. Overnight it's fallen by just over 0.5% versus the US dollar. Are you concerned about the market impact?
I have to say I was trading it last night at about 9:30
So it's your fault, is it? You're selling the pound, are you?
With the markets, it's just amoral. It doesn't matter which side of the debate you're on. It was a great opportunity to make money. If anybody is trading currencies and looking at this, then this kind of volatility is exactly what they're looking for. It dropped 200 basis points, dropped quite a bit, in other words, like you say, 0.5%, and then it recovered a little bit. It's been a great play, and I think there's going to be a lot of volatility coming forward because of this, and a lot of money to be made. I mean, forget George Soros and breaking the Bank of England. This could be an even bigger trade for the hedge funds.
One analyst is quoted saying this is a risk event regarding, talking about the referendum. 10 days to go, but also the paper taking a look at the gilt market and how that hasn't yet been affected, but could be, and how could it be affected? Yeah,
I mean, the gilt market where governments basically issue debt, so they ask others to lend them money, and you would expect that to be affected because the government has to be able to repay that debt. In order to repay that debt, it's got to have sources of revenue. If Scotland is not going to be a source of revenue, and it represents 10% of British GDP, then how are we able to borrow money when we just might be getting quite a kick in the teeth from our income as the UK as a whole? But as you rightly say, that hasn't been panicked as yet, unlike the currency market. So if you're a trader, you're going to more likely look at the currency markets to make your money. And it is somewhat of a surprise that the gilt market hasn't, and it might be because there's some degree of disbelief in the markets that this could happen.
Challenge for you, Alpesh, this morning. A brief answer on this before we move on to the other stories. How do you think it's going to go in 10 days? Your prediction?
I actually don't think the yes vote will get it over the edge. Just because it's been, just looking at the polls...
Short answer, remember.
Just because looking at the polls, this is the first time it's actually just switched over that edge. Although they've got momentum, I don't think the numbers are quite there.
OK.
Who knows? 10 days, a lot can change.